So let's talk about SmartRent from the perspective of a customer. You have a really unique business in the sense that I think the consumer value proposition is obvious, and you have this kind of B to B to C business. And so Jerry, I'm thrilled to have you here. Can you just start maybe by giving a bit of your background and talking a bit about UDR for those that aren't familiar?
Sure. I'm the president of UDR. UDR is a diversified apartment owner across the United States with over 50,000 homes. We have A's all the way down to C level communities.
So as national owner of so many units, I guess, how did you first look at SmartRent as an opportunity for your asset?
Well, originally we looked at doing smart home technology in-house and failed. You know, we could not find the right product mix, didn't have the expertise in-house, and we started looking externally. And we were talking to 2 to 3 different vendors, and then we met Lucas. So Lucas kind of had a leg up on most of his competition because he was a real estate guy coming from a company we had a lot of respect for.
And what stood out about the product to you? Obviously, you made a decision to go with SmartRent, and I guess when you looked at what it represented for your portfolio, what was most important?
Probably that it wasn't just a revenue stream for UDR to get out of its residents. You know, we saw there was cost efficiency and other benefits to the residents as well as our workforce.
I was having some of the same frustration you were on the operations side, saying like, these vendors just don't get it. That all I'm hearing is revenue, revenue, revenue. We're not in the business of milking every last penny out of our residents, and we are in the business of being incredibly efficient operators.
And I think there's an important case study here, right? Because you are such an institutional owner and operator of multifamily assets that, when you first looked at SmartRent, how did you look about first piloting it, right? To kind of understand that it was viable and it worked, and now expanding it throughout the portfolio?
Yeah, after we determined we were going to go with Lucas's product, we wanted to pilot first. And we did 2 locations. Adoption was quick. Our employees as well as our residents both thought the product worked very well, made their lives much easier. And because we saw the future was resident self-service, and we wanted to get on with self-guided tours, also wanted to get efficiency from our workforce, we wanted to move quick. We're a big believer in being first mover. We think we lead the industry in technology, so we acted quickly. And I think that first year our determination was we wanted to get at least 10,000 homes installed. So roughly, 28 months later after first installation, we've put in orders for, 44,000 homes to be installed with SmartRent. We've already completed, 41 to 42,000 homes. And the remaining 6,000 homes we think we'll get to over time. But the expectation is we would be fully rolled out with SmartRent over a time period.
I'm curious, what are the property managers saying about SmartRent?
They see the ease that it puts on their teams. We're not having to change locks. You're able to not have to deal with many late night maintenance requests, lockouts, when you don't have your keys and you need to get in your apartments. Our maintenance team would have to go out frequently. Now they don't have to. As long as you have your code as well as your phone, you can get access into your apartment. So the convenience factor was huge for our teams. And then, as COVID hit last year, we moved forward, we think, much more rapidly than our peers with self-guided touring. And one of the biggest attributes we had was touchless entry. So we could give them a code to get access to an apartment, send them on their way, and then they could come back. So we believe we outperformed our competitors on the revenue side because we could accommodate more tours.
And also, I imagine you're seeing stickier tenants, right? Because tenants are demanding this kind of technology. And I think one of the things that SmartRent offers is this really elegant, singular solution for them. Are you seeing that translate into more retention and higher yields at the asset level?
Over the last 2 to 3 years at UDR, our retention is up probably 300 to 400 basis points. So again, some of it's industry, but I think the SmartRent product has assisted that also.
So Jerry, I imagine one of the things you're focused on is how do you differentiate the UDR assets and that product from your competitive set in the industry? And I guess, how has SmartRent been instrumental in creating that differentiation around smart home technology?
In addition to one thing I really like about the SmartRent product, open architecture. So while the complements of what Lucas's team brings is the leak detectors, the smart plugs, the thermostat, and the smart locks, Some people want to be able to plug in their speakers. Some people want other things that can be accommodated through smart home technology. But the cost to us, if we did full level installations, would be too great and we couldn't command the rent. But you have the ability to plug into his format anything you want to run out of your phone. So I think that open architecture differentiates it from quite a few of his competitors.
We've been open architecture, as Jerry mentioned, from day one, and we think it's a really vital differentiator is to say that no matter where we go in the future, where IoT goes in the future, we're going to provide the best experience because we have the broadest platform to choose from.
Consumer choice has exploded across, every asset class, every product that they consume. And what I'm hearing you say is that SmartRent provides almost that self-guided opportunity to say, I can tether how I want my unit to look. I can tether how I want my home to look technologically, and I'm willing to invest in that. And there's kind of a baseline that's provided from the landlord to offer standardized product, but you can really grow and scale. And that feels, I guess, future-proofed to me in terms of where we are headed in smart home technology.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that is the goal that we set out to do, is to say, show the owners where there's ROI, but also let this be a delightful consumer experience and let the renters get the same benefits that homeowners have had for years.